Hi, my name is Robert. Please read the comments in the About section of this video. It has valuable information and updates. My YouTube channel has a disclaimer video that I encourage you to watch. And please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you found what you're looking for. Thank you very much for watching. I'm currently having a warm start issue with my 1997 40 GL, the 4-cylinder engine. A lot of people don't realize it, but these modern day vehicles use the computer to control the idle. Basically, the computer is controlling your fuel and air mix based off of the readings that it gets from several sensors. When this vehicle is cold, and I mean the engine is cold, first thing in the morning, things like that, it fires right up. It's not hard to start. It starts nice and smooth. I can drive it just about right away. But after I've driven the car, park it for 10-15 minutes or an hour, get back in it to start it, it's very hard to start, and I have to use my gas pedal to control the air intake to get the vehicle to start, and it doesn't idle very smooth after it starts. Then, sometime while I'm driving, it actually has a rough idle. The idle is hunting and things like that. Usually when you have an issue like that, you have some sort of bad sensor on the car that is confusing the computer as to how much air and fuel to mix. Most of your modern day vehicles may use anywhere from 3 to 5, maybe as much as 7 sensors to control the idle, the cold starting, the warm starting, fuel air mix. You'll have an altitude sensor that actually senses the altitude that the vehicle is at to help determine that. You'll have a coolant temperature sensor that tells the computer how warm the engine is to help control that. You'll have a mass airflow sensor, a map sensor, airflow meter, just vacuum pumps, just several things to take in consideration when controlling and monitoring the idle of the vehicle. So if you have a problem with hot starts, cold starts, you gotta try to figure out what sensor is bad. Many of your newer vehicles, newer than 1996, will throw a code to communicate through a OBD2 system that you can hook a computer up to at an auto parts store at a mechanics to help lead whoever is doing the troubleshooting in the proper direction. But on vehicles a little older than that, like my 1990, you have to take educated guesses and use other type of troubleshooting. Usually when you have a vehicle that starts cold but doesn't start warm, or vice versa, and the idle is hunting while it's trying to idle, which means the idle's going up and down, it's not a solid, stable idle. It's a temperature sensor or maybe an idle valve. When you're driving the car, normally your foot controls the air with your throttle pedal. The computer senses that, adds more gas, takes away gas. But once you come to a complete stop, the car idle is controlled by the computer system and not your foot. So things have to be controlled and monitored by those sensors. Due to the fact that the vehicle does start fine cold, I'm suspecting that it's a temp sensor. I've already replaced the idle valve, so I know that's not it. But it is having a hard time starting warm, so something else is going on. If the vehicle doesn't start at all, it could be a problem with the altitude sensor. Also, you could have a major vacuum leak. Now, this vehicle starts cold, doesn't start warm, but it does have a lot of idle hunting when I come to a stop, which of course the computer is supposed to control. So there's other testing that can be done to determine if it's another problem. And in this case, it turns out this vehicle actually has a bad mass airflow sensor. One of the tests that you can do to see if it's a mass airflow sensor is when you have the no start condition, or the condition that you have to manipulate the gas pedal to start it, you can unplug the mass airflow sensor and see if the vehicle starts easily with that mass airflow sensor unplugged. There are other conditions and symptoms that you have to pay attention to. Another common hard start issue is when people fill up their gas tank and the car won't start. In that case, it's often a purge valve. When they finally do get the car started, the car runs rough for a minute or two, and then it smooths out and runs normally until they get gas again and fill up the tank. A lot of those people end up putting maybe a half a tank or 3/4 of a tank of gas in the car to avoid filling it up, and forcing that purge valve system to monitor that air in the vacuum line. Hopefully you have a OBD2 system vehicle, which are 1996 and newer, which will lead you in the direction of the troubleshooting. But if you have an older vehicle prior to OBD2 ports, you'll have to kind of narrow it down before you start replacing parts to get your vehicle to idle smooth. Here we are, we're going to do a cold start, see how it fires up. Alright, in a little while, I'll do a warm start, see how it fires up warm. Okay, I'm at my storage facility. Let's see if it'll start warm without using the accelerator pedal. Did start, didn't fire off like I wanted it to, but I didn't have to use my gas pedal. So the car started fine cold, started fine hot, did not start fine warm when I left it off for an hour. It's been off now for about 15 minutes. Let's see how it does this time. Held the starter for 10 seconds and it tried to start on its own. I'm gonna give it a little gas pedal this time. Floored the gas pedal and it started up and it's holding its idle, so my problem persists. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.